I walked in on a Friday evening, exhausted from a brutal week at work, expecting nothing more than a quiet meal with my wife, maybe an old movie and some takeout like we used to. Instead, she stood in the living room like she was ready for a night out, a sleek black dress, heels, and makeup that seemed too elaborate for a casual evening. She barely looked at me as she snagged her purse from the table and, with calm indifference, announced she was going out. At first I assumed she was meeting a friend or a coworker. But there was a cool, dismissive edge to her voice that made something twist inside me. I asked where she was going. She gave me an impatient look, as if I were being childish for asking, and snapped that she was just going out and I shouldn't wait up. That reply landed like a slap. It implied she owed me no explanation. Unease tightened my chest. I moved closer, trying to keep my tone even. Out with who? I asked. She gave a thin, mocking smile. Why does it matter? She said. Not everything revolves around you. The remark cut deeper than I expected. I'd supported her for years, encouraged her career, picked up the pieces when life got hard. Now my concern was treated like an annoyance. By then she was heading for the door. I stepped forward and blocked her path. For a moment she looked surprised, then she adjusted her purse strap and gave me a look that tested how far I would go. That's when I spoke plainly. If she left without telling me the truth, she shouldn't expect to come back. She blinked, clearly shaken for the first time. What do you mean? She asked, voice wobbling. I didn't back down. I told her I wouldn't wait around wondering where she disappeared to while I was left in the dark. If she left without honesty, she'd be leaving for good. There was a long, painful silence. Her earlier bravado melted into something like guilt. She fiddled with the strap and avoided my eyes. You're overreacting, she whispered, but the hardness from before was gone. I pressed harder. She was dressed like she was going somewhere special. She refused to say where. If I was wrong, she could prove me. If I was right, at least have the decency to own it before she destroyed what we'd built. Her shoulders sagged, the truth finally surfacing. It's just dinner, she murmured. With Anthony from work. The name made my stomach turn. I'd noticed how Anthony hovered at office gatherings, the little excuses to touch her arm, the private whispers. And now she was planning a private evening with him. I nodded slowly, not with triumph, but with quiet resignation. So I was right, I said. She tried to explain, but I cut her off. Don't insult me with denials, I told her. You chose the moment you dressed for someone else.
Not me.
I opened the door for her, but I didn't step aside. I looked her straight in the face and said, Go. But know this. When you return, the person who stood by you for years won't be here anymore. She froze, torn between walking away and confronting the loss she was about to cause. For the first time that night, I saw fear in her eyes, not fear of me, but fear of the consequences she had never expected to face. In that instant, she understood my words were not a threat, but a boundary. Everything between us had shifted, and she finally saw the end closing in.